Hello and welcome back to Cooking with Chef Dama. Recently, I received a request to prepare a dish on my show, and I have to say, it got me quite stumped. One of my subscribers, SugarPlum770, asked me to make a vegetable biryani. And to be very, very honest, I find vegetable biryani boring. And I spent a lot of time going through all my cookbooks and all the research, and it's the same recipe over and over again. And so I did a little bit of thinking and used a little bit of creativity, and I think I have come up with a recipe that will blow you away. I think I have found a way to take the boring vegetable biryani and elevate it to the next level. We're going to be making vegetable biryani Chef Dama style. Without any further ado, my friends, let's cook! And so I decided if we're going to take vegetable biryani to the next level, we're going to have to really do away with just sticking to the boring, in our comfort zone vegetables that we always use. We use carrots, we use potatoes, we use cauliflower. I figured let's use some of the vegetables that we use in other cuisines. And I went crazy at my local produce mart, and I picked up these vegetables that I figure are going to basically surprise my users because we never see this in Indian cooking. So let's get started with prepping our veggies. So first up on the list of vegetables are carrots. We want to peel them and cut them into about 1-inch dices. Follow that with parsnips. Peel and chop. Parsnips, such a wonderful flavor, and so sad it's a forgotten vegetable. Next we have sweet potatoes, just to give you a little contrast to the regular potatoes. Followed by golden beets. Wonderful, slightly sweet flavor, we cut into cubes. And this weird looking thing is patty pan squash. It's slightly bitter but a great texture and adds wonderful flavor. Have you ever seen a purple potato? It tastes pretty much like the regular potato, but that color just adds to that mix. And look at this oddball vegetable, celery root. It's hard to peel, but it has a nice nutty flavor. Cremini mushrooms, we cut off the stems, cut them in halves, and finally paneer, which we cut into cubes the same size as the veggies. This is so awesome! I love the variety of vegetables. It's just so colorful and so many flavors. It's gonna be nuts! Now, the one thing I do when I cook other cuisines, I tend to roast the vegetables to deepen and intensify the flavor. Vegetables have natural sugars, and when you roast them, they caramelize and the flavors are just phenomenal. And I want to bring that flavor profile to my vegetable biryani. So I'm going to give my vegetables a nice good coating of oil. And here I've used extra virgin olive oil because the flavor is outstanding. And I'm going to roast it on broil mode for about 20 to 25 minutes till the vegetables kind of soften, but they don't become mushy. And they get a nice caramelized crust. The flavors will intensify, and this will be amazing. And so it took about 25 minutes in the oven on pretty high heat, and now you can see the wonderful caramelization on these vegetables. Now it's time to make the masala. These are the spices and the gravy that's going to bring it all together. And now we start with making the masala. I'm going to be using a wok for this application. You'll see that it's a perfect receptacle for this. I crackled some fennel seeds and some cumin seeds in hot oil so that the flavors get imparted to the oil. Follow this with ginger, garlic, and green chili paste, a good heaping spoon. Next, I do turmeric powder, coriander powder, and red chili powder, about a teaspoon and a half of each, and stir and cook till the flavors, the harsh aromas dissipate. And now I add the tomato puree, which I made using 3 large tomatoes in a blender. A hit of salt, a little pinch of sugar to balance out the acidity of the tomatoes, and now we add beaten yogurt. So you can see I'm using European style yogurt, which is already sort of beaten. If you haven't got that, make sure you beat it with a beater. Now some garam masala powder, some kasuri methi, and the roasted vegetables go in. Combine it well, and oops, I almost forgot. We have got to add in the paneer. So add the paneer, carefully fold it in, you don't want to crumble the paneer, and mix it all together, giving it a final hit of garam masala powder and chopped mint leaves. And now we move to the next stage of the biryani making process, and that is making fried onions. I have got here some red onions that I've sliced up and I've coated with rice flour and fried in a good amount of oil. Now, in hindsight, I should have used regular white onions or yellow onions. Red onions tend to have too much sugar and they don't crisp up as much as I would like it to do. So for the next time, use the other type. But you fry the onions and this will take quite a while. You gotta cook it till it sort of caramelizes, and then you put it on your draining rig, which is a colander, with a paper towel to crisp up. The next and very important part of making a biryani is of course the rice. And I recommend going down to your local Indian store and picking up some good quality basmati rice. It costs a little more, it's definitely worth it for this application. When making the rice, we need to soak the basmati rice in cold water for about an hour and then add it to boiling water. I am using the draining procedure for making this rice. A little bit of oil and cook for only 5 minutes and you'll see the grains are almost cooked and they're perfect. And now's the time to put it all together. I recommend for this application, instead of putting it in a vessel which constricts everything, to go to your restaurant supply store and pick up one of these aluminum pans. These are really nice, very thin, but the good thing is you can spread out your veggies and then layer your rice over, and the flavors mix really well. Now the problem is these are really thin, and sometimes in the oven, this could burn the bottom of the rice. So what I do is I get a second pan, put in some water, and layer them one on top of the other. And that just works like a little bain-marie. It creates steam and prevents the rice from burning at the bottom. All right, enough talk. Let's get layering the biryani. And now it's time to put it all together. Remember, biryani is all about those layers. Let's start with dissolving some saffron in warm milk. We start with the first layer of vegetables. I add the beaten yogurt to the vegetables and this gives me some nice gravy at the bottom of the pan. Next, I follow with the fried onions and follow that with some chopped mint leaves and some garam masala powder. Follow this with the next layer. More basmati rice, some more vegetables. This time don't worry about the yogurt. Just go with the mint leaves and the garam masala powder. And now finally, the third layer, which is the rice. Cover with some mint leaves, some brown onions, the saffron dissolved in milk, and covered with a foil to make a nice airtight lock. Now this goes into the oven set at 350 and it cooks for 45 minutes. And now, the moment of truth. It's time to take the biryani out of the oven and give it a check. That's one perfect biryani. The aromas are outstanding and it hasn't burned at the bottom thanks to that bain-marie trick that I used. Finally, a vegetable biryani that a hardcore carnivore like me can enjoy. This is superb. I mean, the flavors, the aromas are just outstanding and tastes fantastic. The vegetables are not mushy. You've got a nice, deep, intense flavor because of the roasting. And it's not overly spiced. And each bite has got something. Either a little hint of spice, a hint of sweetness, a hint of citrus. This dish balances so well together. So this is Chef Dama signing out because I got to get down to eating my lunch. But please send me your comments. And if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe to this channel because the more subscriptions I get, the easier it is for me to keep this content free on the web and keep getting more and more videos out to you. So this is Chef Dama signing out, wishing one and all happy eating.